There's one theory on Reddit that terrifies almost every One Piece fan. Because the more you think about it, the more possible it becomes. Reddit believes Monkey D. Luffy will die at the end of the story. Not because he loses. Not because a villain kills him. But because his own body won't survive everything he's done. Throughout the series, Luffy constantly destroys himself to become stronger. Gear 2nd increased the pressure on his organs and blood flow so much that characters literally said it shortened his lifespan. Then during Impel Down, Ivankov injected him with hormones powerful enough to keep him alive and fighting. But there was a cost. Ivankov directly said those injections would take years off Luffy's life. Years. Then Marineford pushed him even further. And now Gear 5th looks even more dangerous and unnatural than everything before it. Every major battle feels like Luffy burning away pieces of himself. But here's where the theory gets terrifying. Fans noticed Luffy's journey mirrors Gold D. Roger almost perfectly. Roger conquered the seas. Reached Laugh Tale. Learned the truth of the world. And then he died. Some Reddit fans believe Luffy is walking the exact same path. The final war may end with Luffy achieving total freedom only to die shortly afterward. And honestly, it fits One Piece perfectly. Luffy never cared about living a long life. He cared about being free. Fans imagine the final scene as Luffy smiling exactly like Roger laughing as he finally becomes the freest man alive. And then dying with no regrets. Which would emotionally destroy millions of fans worldwide. Because beneath all the jokes and pirate adventures, One Piece has always been about sacrifice. About inherited will. About one generation dying so the next can live freely. Meaning the ending may not be a happy celebration. It may be the ultimate goodbye. And somewhere out there, Shiro Oda is probably preparing emotional warfare against humanity after 30 years of storytelling. Remarkably efficient psychological damage. Almost every fan trusts Shanks. He inspired Luffy. Saved his life. Gave him the straw hat. But Reddit believes something much darker may be happening. What if Shanks manipulated Luffy from the very beginning? Think about it. Shanks stole the Nika fruit from the world government long before Luffy ever ate it. Which means he already knew the fruit was important. But how? The government spent centuries trying to hide the fruit's true identity. Yet somehow Shanks specifically targeted it. That alone is suspicious. Then comes the terrifying possibility. What if Shanks intentionally allowed Luffy to eat the fruit? What if he was searching for the next Joy Boy all along? Suddenly, the story changes completely. Instead of a random kid chasing freedom, Luffy becomes part of a plan designed years before he even understood the world. And it gets creepier. Shanks only appears during the most important moments in history. Marineford. The Gorosei meeting. Stopping Kaido. Watching over world balance. Almost like he's monitoring events instead of simply participating in them. Some fans believe Shanks may secretly be connected to the celestial dragons or even the highest powers of the world. Others think he's trying to control the balance between chaos and order. And the darkest theory of all? Luffy and Shanks may eventually fight each other in the final saga. Imagine that moment. The man Luffy admired his entire life revealed as someone who manipulated him from childhood. That would completely shatter both Luffy and the audience. Which honestly sounds exactly like something One Piece would do after making everyone emotionally comfortable for 2 decades. When Emu first appeared, Reddit exploded with theories. Because suddenly One Piece introduced a secret ruler sitting above the entire world government. And fans immediately noticed something horrifying. What if Emu is immortal? Reddit believes Emu may have existed since the Void Century itself. More than 800 years ago. And if that's true, then one person has secretly controlled the world for centuries. Fans think the answer may involve the Ope no Mi. The fruit capable of granting eternal youth through its ultimate surgery. If someone performed that operation on Emu long ago, he could still be alive today. Which changes everything about the story. That means entire wars may have been planned by one ruler. Islands were erased under his orders. History was intentionally destroyed. The suffering of the world was carefully controlled. And suddenly One Piece stops being a pirate adventure. It becomes a story about a hidden dictatorship lasting nearly 1,000 years. Some fans think Emu fears Joy Boy because freedom threatens absolute control. Because dictatorships survive through fear. But Luffy inspires people to stop being afraid. That may be why the world government fears him more than any weapon. And honestly, the idea is terrifying. A smiling pirate with cartoon powers becoming the greatest threat to an immortal tyrant controlling the world for centuries. Anime truly has no concept of moderation. Reddit believes Marshall D. Teach is not just another villain. He's the final disaster of the One Piece world. And many fans think his biggest victim will be Shanks. There's already a terrifying connection between them. Shanks openly warned Whitebeard about Teach long before anyone understood how dangerous he was. Even Shanks himself carries scars from Blackbeard. Which is terrifying because Shanks fears almost nobody. Fans believe Teach is becoming something unnatural. He already possesses 2 devil fruits despite that supposedly being impossible. His body is strange. He never sleeps. His flag has 3 skulls. Some theories even say he may eventually gain a 3rd devil fruit. If that happens, Blackbeard may become stronger than every pirate alive. And Reddit thinks Shanks will die trying to stop him. Narratively, it makes perfect sense. The man who inspired Luffy's pirate journey killed by the darkest pirate in the world. That moment would completely transform Luffy. No more adventure. No more childhood dreams. Only rage and war. And the scariest part? Blackbeard doesn't feel like a normal villain. He feels like pure greed in human form. While Luffy fights for freedom, Teach fights to consume everything. 2 people chasing the same throne for completely opposite reasons. One laughs with joy. The other laughs like the end of the world. This may be the darkest Reddit theory of all. Fans believe the world of One Piece is actually the remains of a destroyed advanced civilization. In other words, One Piece may secretly be post-apocalyptic science fiction. And the evidence is disturbingly strong. Look at the technology hidden throughout the story. Ancient robots, giant weapons, impossible machinery, futuristic energy systems. Some of these technologies existed hundreds of years before the current timeline. Which makes no sense for a normal pirate world. Then there's the Void Century. An entire century erased from history. Why erase history unless something catastrophic happened? Reddit believes there was once a massive advanced civilization called the Ancient Kingdom. Then a global war destroyed everything. The world government emerged afterward and erased all knowledge of the old world. Meaning modern civilization may literally be built on the ruins of a forgotten apocalypse. That changes the tone of One Piece completely. Because while characters laugh and chase treasure, they may actually be walking through the remains of humanity's greatest collapse. Even the geography supports the theory. Why is the world separated into isolated islands? Why are there ancient superweapons capable of erasing entire nations? Why does the government fear archaeology more than pirates? Because knowledge itself may expose the truth. And suddenly Nico Robin's dream becomes terrifying. She's not just studying history. She may be uncovering the story of the end of the world itself. Which means One Piece isn't only about finding treasure. It's about discovering what humanity destroyed long before the story even began. Very uplifting pirate adventure for children. Truly heartwarming civilization material.